What's up, guys? We're getting into this crankcase down at the bottom of this engine. We exposed both of our pistons. There are our heads and our cylinders, and yeah, there we go. So I just started unscrewing things here because at this point there's some 8s along the bottom. Looks like they're holding the case together. There's some 12s, one here and one there. There's 2 on this side, and then anything I could unbolt in the inside. There's a 12 there. They're probably holding the case together right there, right there. This guy, I think that's a 10. These were holding this stuff together. So one fell down in the bottom, so we'll have to retrieve that. But there's a 10. So before I pulled the bolts out, I just wanted to show you what's going on. So this is all loose, and I want to kind of look at the other side and see if we need to do anything. Oh, we can pull bolts out of the final drive spindle here. And I bet that would make things different. So, well, I'm going to put something down here so stuff doesn't go rolling. That was sitting in there as a guide, sitting in here somewhere. Yeah, I'm not really going to know, but at that point, it is what it is. I think that was sitting here. That looks like it was missing from there. Yep. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to put something down here, even just a piece of paper. And we can lean this way and keep unbolting things. Okay, well, we got a few more 12s and some 8s. There's an 8 down here and an 8 there. And then 12 here, 12 here, 12 here. 12 in the middle, 12 over here. And I think that's about it. Oh, there's a little bolt there. That looks like a 10. So I guess we'll hit that. I don't know how this is all going to come apart. I don't know how to get this guy off, because there is a spot for, it's flat on both sides there. So I think that has to rotate or be held. Maybe that just gets held in there. And I have to find out another way to get that rotor off. So we'll continue. Here we go, guys. Back on the engine, the 500 Shadow. We got, hopefully, the right part, 82-0190. This was under 10 bucks on eBay. Brand new part, so I'm excited. Hopefully this threads right in here, and as it threads in, it pushes the rotor out. So that's supposed to do the job, so let's see what happens. Believe it or not, guys, she's too small. Oh, man. So it's just too small. Look at that. She's supposed to go in here and thread in as we go. I don't know which way she goes. I don't know. But it's not going to do any of that because she doesn't work. I got this part number out of my manual for 750 Shadow. I don't have a manual for the 500 Shadow, so that just goes to show they're not the same. So if you have a part number for this tool, this is supposed to be, doesn't even say it on the packaging. So, it's definitely the wrong one. So I guess this is good for the 700 Shadow, which I have one around here. 1 or 2 engines for the 700 Shadow. Or the 750 maybe. Unfortunately, not for the 500. So I guess we're back to square one. We gotta find a giant bolt that we can screw in here and push this off. Today on tearing apart my 500 Shadow, we're going to lift this guy out. This is the rear gear output shaft. So there's that guy. So he's ready to be listed, I bet. I'm going to try and find all the bolts for that and get that good. Now, look at that. Is this pressed in or just laying in there? It's pretty solid. Here, there's a gasket that can go with that. Okay, next. Already bolts are out of here, so I think this housing can probably be knocked off of here. I don't think we have anything else holding that on. Let's lay this over and whack it a few times. Oh, here's one of those bolts. I gotta find the other 2 that look the same. Yep, that goes with that. Yeah, let's see if we can pry this off. Looks like we'll be able to see this gear once this is off of here. I couldn't get that other part, that housing off, so I came to the other side, started looking for things to remove, and grabbed a T30 Torx, threw a bolt in here to hold this steady, and got this guy loose. There's a washer there. So now this should come free. Yep. Sitting in there. Now somehow it'll come free. This guy lifts off here, so that I can remove once I get both of these off. Maybe I can lift them together or grab something and push underneath here to kind of get this free. So this chain and gears can come up. This chain is just laying in here. I think that's the timing chain from up above. Yeah, that comes through here. Identically on the other side, we have that timing chain over there. So let's go. There's a screw I can turn. Just looking for things I can turn. Oh, there's another guy I can turn. I'll probably get that out. That's in a bearing. Oh, all this turns together. Check that out. That's cool. It's part of the transmission. All right. So if I can get this off, here, I'll try it off camera. Yep, just had to get a better grip on it from a screwdriver. So I just popped that off. There you can see them behind. We got more bolts to take out. Not sure I can get them all out. Can't reach that one. But now this chain's free. And this whole guy, I think, as long as the chain's behaving, can lift this off here. There we go. So now those two guys can stay together since they're attached. There you go. I'm assuming this is our transmission shaft. Just making that assumption. And this is holding guys in. So maybe get that screw out and see if we can't remove some more stuff. There's a bolt there. That's all spring loaded. But whatever we got down here, I don't know. It's getting fun. I couldn't get this off before. It would just spin with the engine. Maybe I can do it now that this stuff's loose. And maybe I can get that one out. Let's see. What's up, guys? Today, I'd love to get this engine torn down. This is the 83 VT500 Shadow. So, also same engine for the Ascot. So, I finally got in a flywheel puller. And if you know what this is, great. If not, this is a kit that has all the proper sizes that we should need to get this pressed out. This is the rotor for the stator. And this is magnets along the inside, and that goes around, charges up our stator because there's windings in there. I don't think that's around here anymore. Well, there might be one under there. But anyway, your cover comes off, stator comes off with it. It's bolted to it, and I'm not sure if that's the proper one. That might be off the 700. But anyway, we need to get this rotor off and keep going. So what actually happens is you thread this. This is the bolt. It's going to push it. And we have a couple of these. This is obviously, you have to pick the right one since we have all the different sizes. And I did try this one first. And I think we tried the 22 side. But the pitch was 1. Or did we try the 25 side? Let's look at this one, because this didn't work, by the way. The pitch is the, how many threads are here and the space between the threads. But this one actually screwed right down in here very easily and simply. You don't want to force it. You want to beat any threads. And what we're working with is the M22. Yep. And you can see there's two sizes on here. We need the M22 apparently. And the pitch is 1.5. So the M22 with a pitch of 1 did not work. So what happens is we thread this down in. And once that's in, it's going to lock onto the rotor. in theory, this is how this is gonna work. And I've been waiting for this tool so that we get this done. Now, this bolt goes down and it threads in and pushes against the inside. And as that's happening, it will lift the rotor out because it's locked on here. So hopefully this works. So what's gonna happen is we turn this down till it stops. And then every time we push it beyond that, it should push this rotor out. Hopefully this works. So far, it's not, because it's not long enough. That's where it's stopping. We have too much go. All right, well, maybe I can find a longer bolt in here. Yep, there are longer bolts. So we're gonna try one of these guys. Hopefully I can make this work. So I'm gonna not waste your time. Let me find a bolt that might work here. This should work. This isn't the tool specific for Honda, but I figured I don't want to pay the 20 bucks when you can get these for 20 bucks, the whole kit. So, oh man, it goes the whole way down through, and I don't know if we're going to hit a spot that can push it out. So maybe we do need the proper tool, because this is the longest one we have. Well, can I make this one work? Come on, there's got to be a way. Gotta be a way. Now it's too thick. We are really striking out here. Well, we got all the options, and I can't make this work. Somehow, some way, I gotta come up with a solution here and get this rotor off. Ideally, we get this engine fully apart on this video. I could go find a bolt long enough, M22 by 1.5 pitch. This is what we need. So I need to go find a bolt that goes in here, because that will, see, we'll take that circumference. It's got to rest on there, and as we push it down, it's got to push this back. There's nothing we can do because my other bolt goes the whole way down in the middle, and it's even threaded on the inside there. So we are just striking out with trying not to get the right tools, but we know this is what we need. So find yourself a bolt, M22 1.5. That's going to push off your rotor. This guy is just not going to work because it's not set up for this exactly. Well, I improvised, and I'll show you what I did. Obviously, this is working, and this wasn't reaching down far enough. So what did I do? I thought about finding a bolt or a washer or something to stick in underneath there to cover that gap, cover that hole, so this would fit firmly on. Well, what I ended up doing, this is an 18mm head, which you may or may not have the same kit. There it is if you need it. And then I got my impact. So what I did was put this in there like it was, screwed it down until it came tight to that. Then, let's see, this came loose. I stuck a bolt. I found one. Oh, we just lost something there. Yeah, we're gonna lose more in a minute. Yep, there we go, losing more. What was that jumped out of there? I'll have to chase that down. I stuck a bolt down in there. One with a big enough head that would rest on that. So now, all we did was torque this down, screw it in until it pushed this whole sucker right off of there, just like it's supposed to. So like I said, that's the rotor. Make sure I don't lose anything there. And then this bolt helped me out great. I will reward it by putting it away in the proper bin. So now we got that off, and as you can see, this is kind of tapered. So when that gets pressed on there, that's just pressed on and holding on as it should. So now I got to try and get this back off. This is screwed into this guy. So I guess I'll just grab a wrench and remove this so that we are ready to keep continuing in here. Now I'm assuming this guy's loose now. Yep, we can take off this gear and then keep on going. So I'm gonna try and keep these. Oh, there's some bearings. Very nice. That bearing's probably pressed onto the shaft. Nope, it's loose too. So that's a roller bearing there. That's pretty cool. Now we're getting into parts where I've never gotten to. Now we could probably remove this somehow. But we're going to keep taking this down. Let's get this thing finished up. You're tired of watching me struggle with a shadow engine. I finally got the impact to get this out. I've been working on that for so long. You guys been following along, you know. This finally came loose. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So, yeah, that's out. Let's set that aside. Now we can lift this off. Oh, look at that. That comes right off. And then this gear comes right off. There we go. All that's good. And then we can get our chain out of there. That's good. And then I don't know what to do from there, but I feel like that was one of the last things holding our casings together. We do have this guy in the bottom. What's that, the oil pump or something? We have that, and I'm having trouble getting this bolt out. This is being difficult because there's this bracket here that holds these guys in, and it's tough. You can push it back and forth. I even have this guy sitting in here. When you turn this, it turns that and that, so it's not coming loose. But this one is kind of stripped, and I need to figure out how to get this screw out. All right, so other than the screw on the other side, I don't see anything holding this side of the casing on. I think I got all the bolts and all the screws. This guy, he just sits in here. That's not a big deal. I feel like this should come off itself, but I haven't been very successful in getting that free. I did break this piece off, so unfortunately, that's not a good sail piece. It would still function, but anyway, I feel like if I can split this case, you see, there's a seam right down here. If I can split this case in half, this side should come free. It's questionable, and I don't know how I can grab these guys to get these off. I don't know. These should screw out of the holes here, but we need to figure out a way to get them to turn in the way they're supposed to without destroying them. There might be a way. We'll have to see. Run 2 nuts down on here and turn it, then we'll see. But for now, if I can just pop these cases, there's our front piston, and there's our rear piston. Just a little bit of dirt on it. So I want to split this case in half and then get it to come free. Shouldn't be that hard. I might be able to do it from the bottom. I don't know. We'll figure this out. And then, like I said, this should be free. This guy that holds the rear final drive, I should be able to get that off of there, I think. So anyway, let's maybe grab a screwdriver here, see if I can wedge it in between the casings and separate it. Then I don't see anything holding this back. I think we'll be okay. And then we can get the pistons out and move on with our lives. Y'all, I could not get this bracket out of the way because of this screw right here. I just got tired of it, so I bent it out of the way and broke it off. So now, look at this. This was just sitting in here, chilling, holding down that screw right there, which I think is holding something in. And it was keeping these bearings in, and then I just got it out of the way. So that's a piece of trash, piece of metal trash. So I just wanted to get this 12 millimeter out of here and see what happens with the engine casings. For how easy that was, it's hard to get to. This is the last screw that I have seen anywhere on this engine. So I really want to get these cases apart, and it's not being easy to do. I don't know, this guy down here, I can't get to all the bolts. We have one down there I can't get to, but I couldn't get it out if I tried. So I have to figure out getting these cases apart without breaking anything. I should have been labeling things as I went, but there's our rear cylinder and there's our front cylinder, And then I have to figure out which one was rear and which one was front here. That shouldn't be too hard, hopefully, because there's some subtle differences. And we can figure that out. I've been looking for somewhere to get between these cases, and I just found this little guy right here. No, I did not make that. I know it looks kind of like I did. But I found this little, I found this little spot that I can just jump in here, and it looks like we can start prying it apart. It's loose. I don't know. I guess I can just kind of pry it here, lift it, stick another screwdriver in here, and see if I can get a couple spots moving. All right, I'm glad these don't come apart easily. But I'm starting to get it, starting to get some sections. I'm trying to be real careful. I brought in a bigger gun here and pry bar, and I'm just working my way around. I don't want to do it all in one spot. Kind of get it from either side, and it should eventually lift apart, I believe. So I'm going to keep going around. Let's get these cases apart. This is also why I never like putting stuff back together. That's a note to make for yourself. I have the feeling we're on the verge of getting this apart. When this is on this side, parts are falling out. We got that little guy, and that little guy just fell out of there. And which means this is this free? This is free. This is still holding on. So what is that? I don't know, camshaft, or probably camshaft or something here. So we're still holding on to that. Oh, it's looking like it's free. Oh, it's coming loose. There we go. Now, I read somewhere that you have to put this in the oven and bake it to get these. Oh, I just let it drop back on. Gotta be careful. You should be using gloves because this metal can cut you pretty easily. I think I've already done that on this one. Yeah, like these sharp edges. Yeah, so you're supposed to put this in the oven and bake it so it expands, and then you can get these bearings out and press the new ones in. That's kind of crazy. Here, let's just lift this off in real time with you guys. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Now we got the real guts here. So this would be, let's see, if you're sitting on the bike, the rear's to the back. This would be the right side case. So here's our right side case. We have some bearings in there. They're probably fine. Basically everything is off of this now. There's the inside of that. Still have oil. What is this guy? It's like a red piece of plastic. Well, that may have been laying in the bottom of the oil pan, because I don't know. Maybe it came off of something, but I don't recognize it, so it's probably not something I lost in there. Interesting. I don't see any metal shavings, so that's a good sign. Here you have what? Oil pump. I'm assuming it's sitting in the bottom here. Looks like we have a filter on the bottom. Do you really have to take all this out to get your oil pan? I like when an oil pan just drops off the bottom. You can get to that stuff and pull it out. I had to do that on a Ninja one time. All right, there's our transmission. This is a wet sump transmission, guys. Transmission sits right in here with your engine. And then here is your crankshaft, comes across here. And it's got your pistons on it. And I guess as we go here, we still have to get all this out and get all this free. But this is what we got. There's a bolt there. That's a bolt I was trying to take out. And it just spun with all this. I guess I have to take that bolt off for sure if I'm going to get that shaft and all that stuff out. So I got to see what all can sell. Obviously this will probably sell fine. We will pull that out. I don't think I'm going to take those out, but I can get that screw out, get at this one and this one now, and maybe that one, and pull that guy out. Those are 10s. So let's get that out, and we can sell that. All right, here's our oil pump. She's coming out. Now, we have 2 gaskets there. Do I want to include them? I don't really go with this. And there's our filter. She caught some dirt, but it really doesn't look bad. There's a little bit of dirt in there. And then the bearing feels good there. There's your pipe. That's going to go and take engine oil elsewhere. So this is ready to go. I saved the bolts. They're here. So we're going to clean this up, wipe it off, and an oil pump's ready to go. I think that would probably pop off there if you wanted to, but we'll just wipe it down, make it ready. All right, this guy's cleaned up. He is ready to get pictures taken. So oil pump, ready to do that. Over here, we have our crankshaft. We have our pistons attached to that, and I'm just taking the light mallet and popping this, and it's pushing through. So we're gonna drop this out real quick, real soon, and see what that looks like out of the engine case. Here's our crankshaft. She's all still connected, and looks like I don't know what happened if this fell. I took a chunk out of the corner of the piston here, so I don't know. A little bit of a, I don't know if that was that way before or what. I don't know, probably still would work because you have your piston rings down below. But anyway, I don't know what happened there. But that one is the front. Here is the rear. And the rear actually looks way cleaner and nicer than the front. Oh, maybe it just fell on the ground. I don't know. All right, so there's that. And then it looks like I can start pulling the transmission apart. This guy could lift right off here. Yep, this will lift off. So there's one. And I guess we'll just keep pulling them as we go. The next one, lift that free. See how, oh, it's locking in. I gotta line it up with this one to pull that off. Yeah, this is gonna be a chore. Anyway, have to wiggle them out of there because they all lock into place together, as they should. I'll work on this. You can see the next one has little knobs here, locking that onto there. And this whole shaft probably, yep, this whole shaft could lift out. So I'm going to carefully do all this and show you once I'm done. I don't know, maybe this whole thing can lift out too. Nope, that's still locked on. I probably still do have to get this off. I'll figure that out. All right, guys, I think we're done tearing this down because I got to be real careful taking the transmission out because, yeah, what am I going to do with it? It's all stacked up here and it's all connected and intertwined and interconnected. So everything there, I took 2 of these out, 2 or 3 of these gears, and then all this will fall apart if I'm not careful. So I guess if we're going to sell the transmission and all the gears together, I need to make that happen in a very careful way. And if I just lift it out now, I have nowhere to put it. So we're going to let it sit there. Actually, this shift drum, I guess that's what this is, came out of here. So I'll just stack that in there and we'll put this back on. Yeah, as I was taking this out, everything's good and happy. I did hold this gear here and I was able to get the bolt out of here, and then we have a giant spring looking thing on the back of that. So that's obviously a pressure plate, and I don't know much about it, but that's connected directly through to the final gear. So that guy does not lift out, it seems. Something's holding it in. But otherwise, we're down to the end of this engine teardown, and we're gonna sell some stuff and get some stuff cleaned up, and Shadow 500 parts will be available from the engine. Thanks for watching, guys. If you're still here, subscribe because you must like watching what I do. We're gonna get back to the Shadow 600 over here and put it back together because it should be ready to go. Other than tires. Hopefully that's all we really need to do. So I'll see you guys on the next one. have a great day. Get out and ride or make a mess of your Shadow 500 engine. Catch you later. Have a great one. Bye.